Okay, so now I'm going to be working on the exhaust system, and I need to cut the exhaust about 4 inches shorter, so that the exhaust hanger bracket lines up with the frame. And I'm going to weld, I'm going to cut like a couple inches off here, weld to the frame, and then put it in between there. Okay, so now that I got my line scribed, I'm going to cut it off. Okay, so I have it moved over to the vise. Still dirty, needs to be deburred, but at least it's a straight flat cut. Okay, so as you can see here now, I got it shortened up, and you can see where I need to weld this tab to. I'm just gonna cut literally just like an inch, and then just like tack it on to a couple spot welds, drill it, and then that should be the exhaust system all done. Okay, so now I'm gonna get ready and weld this in. Just a couple quick tacks should do the trick. And then tighten up the bolts down there and this little bolt. Line this up and then tighten it down and it's done. Okay, so now that we got the exhaust mounted up and tightened up, let's give it a start and see what it sounds like. So I had to go to a foot brake because the clutch, and because that's how every other bike is. Of course I got the front brake on the right. Okay, so now I'm going to be working on the rear brake. So as you can see, it doesn't, those two holes are supposed to line up, and where the fulcrum, or that is where the fulcrum is, where the arm would be, it's hitting the motor. So I have to cut it off and then weld to cut this off, then weld a piece a couple inches back, and then basically just re-weld that back on, push it farther back, and then it should be good to go. Okay, so this is as far as I'm gonna bring it back. So I'm gonna cut this out and weld it on. Okay guys, we're back here working on the brake. So this is what I modified yesterday. I added length and then added this lever arm up here and then drilled another hole. And how I have it attached to the frame is 1.5 inch grade 8 bolt running through the frame. I drilled a hole straight perpendicular with the frame. And then I have washers, and then a nut, and this is actually a shoulder bolt. So here's what it is, and the bolt, this bolt on the back side here actually just bottoms out at the end of the thread, so just the shoulder fits. And then I just have then I have the brake lever pedal itself, and then a washer and a nylock nut. And with this setup, there is very little lateral play at the top, but at the bottom there is a little bit of play. And it also clears. Okay, so I got the rear sprocket adapter from Go Power Sports. So this bike is a 1972 Scat Cat. That's all I know. I don't know if there's any models. If there are, what model it is. And there is very little information from what I can find. So this one was the closest one I could find to this bolt pattern, but it is just barely too small. So as you can see there is my finger, and you can see it barely doesn't line up. So I think what I'm gonna do is drill out these 3 holes this way and hope it doesn't, wobble when it's spinning. But I will try my best to keep it as aligned as possible. Okay, so now that I got all 3 holes drilled or widened, and it is pretty spot on. I feel very confident running that, in that it won't, oscillate up and down. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get the sprocket put on, and then, this is not perfectly flat. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bolt it on, flip it over, ignore this, and then put like just one washer in between this and the hub in order to space it back out, because of course it'll be, when you flip it over, it'll be kind of like facing in, and then this will bring it back out and in line with the sprocket. Okay, so now that we got it on the wheel and we got the wheel back on the bike, I gotta loosen or take out some chain, obviously, because the last one was giant. So here, this isn't too bad. I think I have, well, I gotta think about this. So okay, so I got the chain mocked up here. Think this is how much I need to take off. Pretty much where it was before. I didn't move this one I did. So yeah, I'll get this cut and get it back on and then tension it, and then we gotta hook up the foot brake too, just the cable, but that should only take a minute, then we can go for a ride.